Thank you, sir. That concludes our agenda address.
Thank you, Pro Tem Carrington. We move now to the two discussion items that were added. So the first discussion item, updates on smart bus stop changes for downtown Pontiac. Councilman Goodman, I'll give you the floor first, and you can defer to members from the community that are here as well that might be able to shed more light.
Absolutely. So again, from a couple weeks ago, we discussed the changes in the smart route concerning the Phoenix Center bus stop. There have been some more updates since then. So I'd like to invite to the mic the ombudsman for SMART, Madonna Van Fossen.
Good evening, everybody. Madonna Van Fossen, Oakland County Ombudsperson for Smart Transportation. So I received this text just a little while ago from Robert Kramer, the Deputy General Manager at SMART, and he has also provided this information to the news station and the newspapers, and it said, SMART used input from a number of meetings that included riders and community stakeholders over the last few years to arrive at our decision to close the Phoenix Center bus stop in downtown Pontiac. However, based on the strong response from the community, we've decided to postpone the closure until at least September to give more time to analyze and discuss the issues and the impacts in a public forum. So what that means is the Phoenix Center bus stop will remain open. They are changing all the signages. There will be people, road supervisors at the bus stops this coming week to make sure that all of that is done and if people have any questions. And what we will do is set up meetings with the city and discuss the reasonings why we were going to close that stop and reroute all of the routes to the different stops located within downtown Pontiac.
Thank you. Discussion. Councilwoman Rutherford.
It takes bravery to correct things, even when it's not the popular thing. So first, I thank you. I know you fought hard for it. I just want to say I appreciate that because I take the bus sometimes when I'm lazy. I know folks take the bus too. Secondly, it gives people an opportunity to have a voice and not be voiceless and not just listen to the people who own property down there who are upset because they're not comfortable with the people that actually sit down at the bus station. So I want to say publicly to you, good looking out, and thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Other discussion. Councilwoman James.
Yes, I'm glad to hear that there has been a postponement until more discussion can take place. But it came out in the discussions about this that SMART has the responsibility for maintenance around that bus stop. And can you elaborate on that, to tell us who has the responsibility for maintaining the bus stops?
Well, first, let me just tell you that there are over 5,000 bus stops in the Tri-County area that SMART has. The department that actually handles the maintenance of the bus stop, whether it's cleaning, picking up the trash, fixing broken things, there were 6 people in that department pre-COVID. I'm not sure to date how many people there are, but I want to say at least 4 to 6. What happens is we enter into verbal agreements most of the time with city governments or DPWs where these bus stops are located. Within the Pontiac area, when Mayor Waterman was here and John Balint was here, we had that agreement with the DPW to pick up the trash or call me or call Mark Starnes, who is head of that department, let him know that the trash needs to be picked up, and he would send somebody out there. We tried to be vigilant about that, but not going to lie, because of limited staff, we, have not done, we can't be out there every day. So we count on individual organizations. We have a program called Adopt a Stop that we implemented about, I think it was 4 years ago. So companies, groups, organizations, individuals can adopt a stop. And what that is, it's just we will provide them with garbage bags, with shovels, with brooms, with gloves to maintain that stop. We will give them recognition. There will be a placard placed in front of the stop. It's a year agreement. It doesn't cost them anything, and we give them all the supplies. So there are several communities that have, like Boy Scout troops have adopted a stop. Businesses have adopted a stop. So that information has been out and available. That's another way that we're trying to help clean up our bus stops. But I always tell people that if there's a problem, to call me, let me know, and then I can call Mark and have him send somebody out there right away. But because there are so many, there's just no way we can be at everyone every day. So we do count a lot on the public to let us know the cities where they're located, DPWs, and individuals.
I do want to offer to the conversation related to that point. My understanding, and I'm very open to being corrected, is that this current stop for the Phoenix Center is, the challenges are compounded because there is a surface level parking lot immediately behind it, and that is owned by the city of Pontiac. And then the Phoenix Center structure itself, with the maintenance and other challenges, that also, you know, has ramifications for us as the city of Pontiac. And if this stop were located, you know, on South Saginaw facing Lot 9, and there were issues with sort of, you know, debris or other behavioral challenges, then the issue might be different because that's a privately owned lot. But for the Phoenix Center bus stop, it abuts the city's property and the city's very large unresolved Phoenix Center structure as well. So it's compounded by those challenges.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Rutherford?
2 questions. So, do you have a copy of, or can we get a copy of the agreement that you had with the DPW and with the previous?
It was not a written agreement. It was just a verbal agreement. John said that and the DPW person said that they would.
Do you have the details? I just want to know, so because I'm going to ask, my second question is to the administration on how we can fix this issue, because it's a hot topic in District 1, especially with the downtown business owners. And so how do we rectify this so that both people win? Because people got to get on the bus, and it's got to be clean, and we own the property. That's the question for you or Mayor Grimo. Either one of you can answer it.
Well, one of the reasons why we're happy that we have a little bit more time before moving the stop is so that we can have a real conversation with both residents and downtown business owners and council and other stakeholders, SMART, included, maybe especially SMART, about what the right solution is here. Because it's not riders of the SMART system who are creating some of the concerns at this bus stop. At least that's not our perception. It's our perception that there are other people who are loitering in that area that typically are not bus riders who are creating some of the issues there that folks and downtown businesses in particular are concerned about. We want to make sure that we're addressing those issues without inconveniencing or displacing bus riders, those who rely on buses for transportation. And so I don't have all the answers as I sit here, but we need to get to work in a collaborative way to try to identify what the correct solutions are that address some of the legitimate concerns there without displacing or inconveniencing bus riders.
Other discussion. Councilman Nicholson.
I want to say, as a downtown business owner, and my business is open more hours than any other business other than the hospital. My concern is not for the people that are riding the bus or going to that stop. My concern is for those people's safety because of the location of the stop being away from the predominant public view. So to me, I have the complete opposite opinion of some of the people whose businesses are located closer to the stop. I would like to see that stop, if it maintained in downtown, but in a more a place that is more easily accessible, but also in public view. So that way people feel more safe approaching that stop. And from a trash collection perspective, our garbage cans, city garbage cans are all the way along Saginaw Street. They don't extend around to the places where there aren't businesses located. So while I may be unpopular in that opinion, I would say move it to North Saginaw, and we'd be happy to have you be our neighbor.
And can I just give a little history, just really quick? The thing with the Phoenix Center stop, there are 5 routes that come to that stop. So over the years since I started, I look back in my notes, starting in 2017, I have had meetings with various organizations, individuals, city administration, all kinds of people within at least 2 meetings a year saying, where can we move the stop? So we have looked all around Pontiac. Where can we move the spot that can handle 5 routes? There's no place big enough. We've tried the Amtrak station. They don't want us there. We tried around the corner on Lot 9. It wasn't big enough, and the businesses across the street didn't want to have all the buses parked there. We tried all different locations and couldn't find any. So this is why the scheduling department over the years decided, well, instead of having all 5 routes converge on the one stop where all kinds of people will gather, which is kind of a magnet for other people to come and gather, let's move the routes, break the routes up. So that's why this plan that we're postponing now was going to move each route to go to a different stop within downtown Pontiac, within a block to 2, taking into consideration, we did not want to inconvenience riders either, taking into consideration the businesses or the stops where they're located. You know, we've heard, well, we need shelters at those stops. The dilemma there is, in order to build a shelter, you need a certain footprint. It's at least a 13 by 13 footprint. And some of the bus stops where we were going to move these don't have that area to build a shelter. We're certainly open for discussions and ideas. This is the time, let's make it so everybody's happy. But we didn't just, you know, break it up without any consideration. I'm going to say I should have followed up with our scheduling department and said, I was not totally aware that they were actually going to implement this, because we've been talking about it for so many years. So this is a lesson. I want to thank all of you for standing up, because it's a lesson for us what we need to do internally as far as communicate. Because had I known, I could have said, well, let's just talk to Pontiac really quickly first, see what they say, and maybe we would have avoided all this. We did not do that. I take that responsibility. But let me assure you that SMART totally wants to work with all of our communities, so we are open to any and looking into any and all ideas that you have.
Any further, Councilman Goodman?
And the thing is, I think I speak for almost everyone up here, including the administration, to say that we are very much in favor of public transit. We very much support SMART, especially SMART's footprint in our city. It's, again, just the communication.
Right.
A lot of this entire situation could have been avoided by better communication. Problems could have been resolved by better communication. And now, since we're beginning to have this conversation, we can hopefully come up with a solution that benefits not only SMART, but the city as a whole.
Oh, I'm sure we can.
And again, it's just me pointing out that, like, we support public transit. We're, again, right there with you. Just making sure that the lines of communication with municipalities, again, especially speaking for the city of Pontiac, like, has to be strong there, especially when we're having the conversations about what to do with public transit, how to better improve our system.
Right.
These are where the battles are won, are in these little small types of ways and situations.
Right. Totally agree.
Other discussion? Hearing no further discussion, thank you very much for your time and your insights.
Thank you.
Next discussion item, cooling centers for the community. Want to give the floor first to Councilwoman Rutherford.